Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we've got a puzzle to try today that I think is going to be very hard. This puzzle has been requested a lot today. It's by Myxo, who is an absolutely phenomenal brain. It's called Tetrafolium. It is a most exquisite looking grid. It really is. It's sort of captivating the way it looks. With sort of some Fistmaphelian boxes in the corners, I notice. But it's got 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty. And we have had a lot of emails saying, can we have a look at it? And if we look at it just quickly on Logic Masters Germany, let me just move this over so you can see. Hopefully you can see. You can see it's got 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty. But it's the comments that are a bit terrifying. Although Pietato didn't find it brutal, fascinating and enjoyable. But Jesper's solved it. I mean, Jesper's a superb mind. Andrew Sarkis, superb mind. But Belsita, very hard indeed, almost broke me. She is a brilliant solver. So it's slightly terrifying. But I'm very, very keen to try and do what you asked me to do. So I will have a quick go at it, maybe a long go at it, and see how I get on today. And if it all goes wrong, never mind. Hopefully I will try something else before 8:30. Now, what do I want to mention before we kick off today? Very unusual day. I don't have any birthdays to do. I have got... do you know when you get a song going around in your head? Is it called an earworm or something? Greta van Fleet. I discovered Greta van Fleet for the first time about a week ago. What a band that is. What a band. Anyway, I've got one of their songs going around in my head. What a voice that lead singer has. Good grief. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm going to start by just saying congratulations to Kevin. Kevin wrote to us by email to say that he's been watching the channel for a while and sort of open-mouthed at the souls, which is very kind, but tried to solve his first New York Times Sudoku and finished it. And that is very well done. So brilliant. I'm absolutely delighted when I hear that people are sort of learning from watching the videos and putting it into practice. So Kevin, I just wanted to say well done, my friend. The other thing I was going to do, if you'll bear with me for a moment, I wanted to share with you an amazing email we've had in from Adriel. And Adriel, I mean, it's pretty moving, this one. But I thought I would just share it with you in the hope, frankly, that I think Sudoku solving is quite a mindful activity. It takes you away from the real world, and it gives you, hopefully, a few minutes of pleasure. All the puzzles we feature on the channel, they give people so much pleasure, and it can provide a very useful break from the chaos of real life. And Adriel's email was a great example of that. So she writes, in the last 3 years there have been 3 major events that happened in my life, events that, though colossal and world changing, could go either way. They could be the best ever thing to happen in my life, or the worst thing ever to happen, and it all depended on how I chose to respond. Whether or not I could keep my cool in the midst of chaos, whether or not I could choose to forgive or choose to explode my feelings onto everyone around me. I discovered Cracking the Cryptic just under 3 years ago, as the first of those 3 situations was going on. It was 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep because not only was the situation keeping me up most nights, but my family happened to be in a hotel room with boards for beds. So I watched a Sudoku with only 4 given digits. And I felt like Simon was talking just to me. All the chaos swirling around me settled into the simple logic of a miracle Sudoku puzzle as presented by a British man with a very soothing voice. I cried. My family stopped pretending to sleep and all asked me what was wrong. I simply just pulled out my earphones and turned the video up so that they could be lulled back to sleep. Oddly enough, it worked, despite the fact that my kids have spicy neuroteens. I have not watched 2 videos every day since. Rather, when I'm doing okay, when life is just fine, thank you very much, I may or may not watch for a week straight. But whenever life gets stressful, I will binge as many videos as necessary until my blood pressure has dropped to a good pace and my nerves have been calmed and my brain isn't screaming at me. So here I am in the midst of the 3rd life-altering situation in 3 years, and I'm watching many videos a day, and that's okay, because I can turn on Simon's voice while I placidly work each day and just wait for the chaos to calm. I can get through this too. Because I know I won't be reacting out of fear or anger or tension or desperation, I will take the time to breathe and pray and ask the Lord for wisdom instead of screaming. Because I have a whole community of geeks that are watching right along with me, who understand spicy neuro problems, who understand how freaking hard it is to break generational curses, who understand the need to find the logic in the chaos, and who are all yelling, "Look at box 7, Simon, right along with me." So thank you for helping me be the best me that could walk through the storm and win the best things that life could throw my way. Isn't that lovely? Adriel, I hope the current situation resolves itself most fervently in your favour, and thank you very much for taking the time to write. It does mean a lot to both Mark and me when we receive emails like that. I cannot tell you actually what it means, but we really do appreciate it. Now, the only other thing I should mention before I get solving is Patreon. Let's have a quick look. I forgot to do it yesterday, didn't I? That's very naughty of me. I should have done a refresh to see where we are with Are You My Mama, which is our competition. There are only 2 days left, so do get your entries in soon. Now let's see. We were at 1,100 2 days ago. So we're going to have gone up a bit, I imagine. Yeah, 1,167. I think we're going to reach 1,200. We might reach 2,000 patrons having a go at the first puzzle. You could still get them all done. There is time. There is time. They're almost certainly none of them as difficult as Tetrafolium by Myxo. Of that, you can be assured. Now, they're all sort of modest difficulty at worst, so you can definitely do it. Do have a go. The prize, as we've said before, is chance to make a Sudoku video with me. Oh, do check out Bismuth's video yesterday. That's been going. I've been loving the comments on that one. So that was, I solved with the famous YouTuber Bismuth, the speedrunner, and we had an absolute blast. Anyway, let's have a look at Tetrafolium by Myxo. These are the rules. Place the digits 1 to 9 exactly once each in every row column or box. Oh, that's fooled me already. Normally we just write normal Sudoku rules apply. So normal Sudoku rules, we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. Digits in cages must sum to the indicated total. In some cases, only the parity of that total is given. So those 4 digits sum to 20. Those 3 digits sum to an odd number, but we don't know what that is. Indeed, there's another one there, another one there. Anyway, so we'll have to think about that. Digits along grey thermometers must form a strictly increasing sequence starting from the bulb. So if this square was a 1, this, well, obviously has to be bigger than 1, but it doesn't have to be 2. You can skip out digits along thermos, so you could do that, for example, 1, 4, 7, 8, 9. Just make sure you keep increasing the digits as we move away from the bulb. And German whispers. There's a beautiful shade of German whispers. It's not the normal bright green. I suppose it's more leafy, Tetrafolium. So is this some sort of 4-leaf clover design? It might be. Adjacent digits on a green line must differ by at least 5. So if this square's a 1, this square has to be at least a 6, because it needs to be at least 5 different from 1. So it could be 6, 7, 8, or 9 if this is 1. And they are all the rules. And do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. I mean, let's deal with the elephant in the room firstly, which is Vistamafel. So this is the relationship that exists in all Sudoku puzzles, which tells us that these blue digits here There's 16 of those blue cells. They are the exact same digits as these 2x2s in the corner. Now, I will prove this for you. I have proved it before many times on the channel, but I will prove it if I can see something this is doing, which I can't. No, I mean, there's just nothing, is there? I mean, these digits sum to 80 is something that we can deduce from that, but I mean, there's just not enough thermo interaction. So that's probably not what we have to do. I was going to say that's not what we have to do, but I don't trust that conclusion, so I'm not saying that. It's so beautiful. Maverick's about to fly over. It's a beautiful sunny day here today, so I guess flying low over my house might be a nice thing to do today. Right, okay. I can see something about this thermometer, and perhaps other thermometers as well, to do with the way that they interact with the whisper. Now this relies on a little secret about whispers, which I will share with you, which is that you can't put the digit 5 on a whispers line. And that's because if you try to put 5 on it, the next digit has to be at least 5 different from 5. And if you go up, you get to non-Sudoku digits like 10. And if you go down, you get to 0 or negative numbers. They also are not Sudoku digits. So 5 doesn't live on a line. And what that means is that every digit on the line either has the quality of being lower than 5 or higher than 5. And what you find is that they oscillate along the line, and that's very easy to see. Imagine this was lower than 5. Could this also be lower than 5? And the answer is clearly no, because these can't be 5 apart. So what you're going to find is, I've managed to do this the wrong way round as well, they're going to oscillate, but this thermometer is length 5 long, so this digit here is at least a 5, but can't itself be 5. So that must be at least 6. Can't be 5 because it would be on the whisper. So this is low, this is high. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, yes. So this is low by just counting down the thermo, because that's definitely a high digit. If we count down, we could put 5 here, except for the fact it's on the whisper. So that's low. Yeah, okay, and you can actually see, if you think about it now, all of these thermos are exactly 5 long, so they have the same property as this one, which means that we're always looking at high digits in the tips, and we're always looking at low digits in the bulbs. So I can see how we can sort of get going here. You know, I mean, we're not getting very far, but we are at least doing something that feels... yeah, that feels like it's progress, doesn't it? Maybe not progress, but it feels like it might be. So I've heavily populated grid. Perhaps I should have done low and high colouring. It's weird, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I tend to do with German whispers. I feel like this is more natural for some reason. So can I do something with this? This is an odd collection of digits, so it sums to an odd number. Now, well, I don't think there's any way of telling the parity of these two digits. I mean, for example, if that's 9, that could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. All of 1, 2, 3, and 4 would be at least 5 away from 9, and depending on what you pick there, the parity of that pair would be different. So I don't know the parity of that. By the same logic, I don't know the parity of that. So although I do know the parity of that, I don't think it's that box that's going to tell me anything. What on earth are you meant to do here? Hang on, sorry, I am not seeing anything at all. what I actually might do, yeah, maybe I have to do colouring. I'm going to colour in all the low ones. Let's give those blue for coldness, and then we'll make the hot digits hot, orange for hotness. Now, what we're looking for is rows and columns that have 4 of any such digit, because obviously that's as many as you could create. I was just wondering whether, oh, maybe better here. Ah, yeah, there we go. Right, so let's look at this one. Now, in theory, this could have been a low digit. But then by thermologic, if that's low, these are also both low. And there'd be 5 lows in this row. So that can't be true. That must be orange. Oh no, it could be 5. I forgot about 5. Oh no. Sorry. Okay, that's already a terrible start. Oh, my colouring doesn't work then, does it? Unless we can group 5 with highs or lows. What? I mean, this is bonkers. It's not that. It's not the weird extended Fistemafel thing, is it? I can never remember. Oh no, that's those 2x2s. No, I'm getting the feeling as I'm looking at this that there is so little given information that there's a trick. So quite often the trick is set based, but here the set is very flagged, isn't it? It's those 2x2s. Whenever it's set based, always look for 2x2s, because they tend to jump out from the geometric splitting of Sudoku. It can't be this, can it? I just don't believe it. If it's no, I don't think it is that. Ah, okay. So, well, neither of those digits can be orange. And that's because if they were, imagine that was orange, then I'd have 3 oranges there, the minimum size of which would be 6, 7 and 8, and 6, 7 and 8 add to 21, and 21 is more than 20. There is a knowledge bomb for you. So these digits, the thing is they might be 5 though. They're either 5 or they're both blue, and if they're both blue, let's think about that. If they're both blue, then these digits would be 5 and 2 orange digits. I don't see what that's doing, actually. And I think, unfortunately, 5 can go in there. Probably not near. No, I'm wrong. Oh no, I'm right. If you put 5 in there, you can't put 9 in there, because if these were the minimum, they could. If one of these was 9 and 6 would be the minimum. 9, 6 plus 5 is already 20, and we've still got one more cell to deal with. So these would be from 6, 7 and 8. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. I don't think I can put 5 in there. I might be wrong. Let's just put 5 in. Now, what are we going to make these digits now? And I think the problem is that one of these digits has to be, well, they both have to be very low. And when I say very low, they're both going to be low within the panoply of 6, 7, 8 and 9, obviously. Well, let's do this. Let's go through it carefully. So, if this is 5, we know neither of these is 9. Well, these definitely cannot be a 6, 7 pair. That's relatively straightforward to see that. And that comes out of sort of Whisper's logic. If this was a 6, 7 pair, the only digits that you can partner 6 with on a Whisper well, the only digit is 1, and the only digit you can partner 7 with is 1 and 2. So these would be a 1-2 pair. And what would I put in here? I would have to, well, it would be a 3 in the corner, which is worth singing about, but wouldn't ever get me to 20, because I'm on 18, and a 3 in the corner is 21. So one of these is 8. But the problem is that's pushed this up, hasn't it? So now this would have to be 6, 6, 8, 5, because 7, 8, 5 is already 20, and that puts 1 in the corner, but 6 in the box is going to require 1 on the whisper. Right, okay. So actually, okay, so this one, let's put this all in again, does not have 5 here, so 5 is in one of those 3 squares, and that's going to be the same in that box. And I imagine it'll work the other way round, will it, for... I don't know. We're going to have to do the thinking. I suspect there's some symmetrical property. So if you put 5 in here, how is that working now? You can see these are going to have to be very high. Yeah, it's going to be the same, I think. If these were 4 and 3, we'd need 8 into the corner because we'd be on a count of 12. But if these are 4 and 3, these 2 digits will be 8 and 9, which are the only digits that can accompany 3s and 4s on whispers. So that won't work. So that means there's one of these is going to be a 2. The other digit can't be 3, because then that's going to require this to be 10. So the other digit's going to be 4. This is really weird. The other digit's going to be 4, and that's going to require a 9 in one of these squares by Whisper's logic. But what do we need in the corner? Well, those 3 will add up to 11 if these are 2 and 4, and we're going to need 9 in the corner, so it doesn't work there either. But it's sort of, it is a bit symmetrical, but it's a very strange thing. So in the corner 3x3 boxes, 5s. Oh, okay. Oh no, this is totally hopeless. This is totally awful. I think this is the worst result. Because 5s are now not in the boxes in any of the corners. So what I can see from that is we can ask in row 1 where 5 is going. It's going in the odd cage. It's going in there in column 9. It's going to go in there in row 9 and there in column 1. No. Oh, Bobbin's face. I was wondering whether this is totally not useful here, is it? Because if that's 5, those 2 are both blue. Oh, no, okay. I see. I can use the fact that... Oh, no. All right. What I should do now is to take my own advice. Now, we worked out before that these couldn't include orange digits full stop. Now they can't include 5. They are both definitely blue, aren't they? So that must be the same up here. Now, I didn't do the maths on the corner boxes so far as... Yeah, but it's the same principle. If this was blue, the maximum size of those 3 squares would be 4, 3 and 2, which add up to 9, and that's going to require that to be an 11, which is impossible. So there are no blue digits in there. Once 5 is not in this box, these are both definitely high digits, and that's going to be the same up here. So now... Aha! So now we're in better business down here. Because I was thinking about whether... Well, when we did it earlier, I was wondering, I realised this could have been a 5. Now it definitely can't be a 5. Because if this is 5, whoa, that's a pretty pattern. If this is 5, these 2 digits are definitely blue, and I've got 5 blues in the row. And similarly, if that square is definitely 5, these two are definitely orange along the thermo, and I've got 5 oranges. So that's my first digit. That is a 5 in the grid. That's not a 5 anymore. Should we give 5 its own colour? Let's give it its own colour. We'll make it purple. So that digit is not 5. So that should be a colourable digit. And whatever colour it is, it will impact on one of those two squares. I've got 4. Yeah, okay, so I've got loads and loads more oranges and blues now. What about this row? I've got 3 of each. And that's going to be the same, is it? Yes. But here I've got a thermometer. Ah. I was thinking this can't be blue, surely, but maybe it can be. If that's blue, all of those are blue, and they would have to go 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm sure that doesn't work for some reason. Let's just work that out. If that's blue, 4, 1, these would be a 2, 3 pair, but that one isn't on a whisper. These would all be blue. That would be orange, because it can't be 5, because the 5's over here. What on earth is going on? Oh, maybe, okay, maybe column 9? I've got 1 blue and 1 orange left to place, but this is parity, it's not... Okay, I know the parity of the digits that go into this cage, which I know consists of a blue and an orange. I know they have the same parity, because 5 is odd. Another knowledge problem. The whole cage is odd. So the 2 digits in there that are not odd have to sum to an even number, don't they? So they're either both odd or they're both even. This is balmy. I don't actually think this has taken me forward very far at all. Sorry, I realise I've stopped talking. I am trying to spot something to do here. Is it? Okay, that's orange. And that's blue. There's another tiny deduction. That's blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, this is a thermo, isn't it? So that can't be a 1 and that can't be a 4 now. This can't be a 6 because it has a high digit lower than it, and that can't be a 9. So that doesn't put any pressure on that, and let me guess. That doesn't put any pressure on that either. Oh, bobbins. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. So right. Right. Here's a very peculiar thought. Not actually sure it's right. I feel like I want to do... Hang on. I feel like I want to do set on that versus that. Those... Yeah, that's right, isn't it? If I go those are x and y, then sum I think that's right. That's x and that's y. Then the sum, or maybe I do it the other way round. Maybe I make these two x and y. Hang on. I feel I want to say that that has a difference of 5. And this has a difference of 5, because what I'm seeing is I've got 30 here and 20 here, and the difference, obviously the difference between 30 and 20 is 10, but I've also got, I know I've got at least 5 difference here, and I've got at least 5 difference here. And my brain is saying to me that that means that these both have to have the sort of minimum difference, because if they had more of a difference, the world wouldn't add up. But just bear with me. I'm trying to prove that feeling algebraically, and I'm not doing a very good job of it, frankly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the sum of those is undeniably 30. Yeah, I think it's just right, isn't it? I know I know this is a very strange way of looking at this, but okay. So I think I've been trying to do it set based, and I'm going to move away from that. I'm going to do it more simply. What I'm going to say is that the sum of these digits is definitely, indisputably 30. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, the difference between these 4 digits values and these 4 digits values is, we know that the value of this cell is at least 5 different from the value of this cell, don't we? And we know the value of this cell is at least 5 different from the value of this cell. So the absolute maximum value that this can have would be if I deduct the minimum value from this and the minimum value from this. If the difference between that domino, difference between the cells in that domino is exactly 5, and the difference between the cells in that domino is exactly 5. That's how I maximize the value of that. Now, if I don't maximize the value of that, this cannot add up to 20, because those do add up to 30, and the minimum difference here is 5, and the minimum difference here is 5. So 20 is the absolute most I can ever make those squares add up to. So I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do it like that. That is a convincing argument, I think. It's not an argument, it's a fact, actually. That feels right. Now, does it work here? Now, I presume it does. I.e., what we've got here is those digits sum up to 10. So we know that the absolute minimum value of this is this digit plus 5, don't we? And the absolute minimum value of this is this digit plus 5. So we know that this adds up to 20 or more if the differences in either of these cases is more than 5. So 20 is the required difference. So this adds, well, the difference between those two digits is 5. Right. Okay, now I begin to dimly see what Myxo is up to here. Because if the difference between two digits is exactly 5, then that must add up to an odd number. And if the difference between that is exactly 5, that must add up to an odd number. So, we're going to use the secret, are we? This is ridiculous. So now I'm going to claim that in row 1, I mean, by the way, I hope everyone's happy with that. I mean, if the difference between two numbers is an odd number, then the sum of those digits is obviously odd, because imagine the first digit, imagine this was a 1, then that's going to be even, obviously. So they are different parity, so the sum of them is therefore odd. If this started with a 2, then that's going to be a 7, and the difference is obviously 5 again, and the sum will be odd. So, but the secret of Sudoku, this is something I tell any of my very favourite people. If you're still watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. The secret of Sudoku is that a whole row of a Sudoku sums to 45. Now, 45 has a... and that's because that's the sum of the digits 1 to 9, which is required to be placed, obviously, in every row of a Sudoku. But 45 has a quality of oddness. It's like me. 45 is the sort of numerical equivalent of me. It is extremely odd. Now, what that means is that the parity of those digits is the same. Because that's odd, that's odd, that's odd. Sum 3 odd numbers together, you get an odd number. So we're on the correct parity, if you like, for the row, but we haven't accounted for this cell and this cell. So either both of those are even or both of those are odd. Right, so the 4 corners of this puzzle all share the same parity, is what we can deduce from that. Because that principle that we've just established happens in that column, and it happens in that column, and it doesn't happen in this row, but that doesn't matter, because the preservation of the parity principle has already been secured by 3 sides of this puzzle having these odd cages in the middle of them. So these are all of the same parity, but we don't even know sorry, I've stopped talking again. I don't understand what that means at all. So let's just imagine, let's put 6 in the corner, but that could be 2 or 4. That could be 6 or 8. That could be 2 or 4. Oh dear, I don't know. Have I... Sorry, this is one of those puzzles. It's actually, it's even hard to talk. It's hard for me to talk because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do at all. If I'm at a bit of a loss here. Oh, that digit. Where does that digit go in box 2? Actually, that is almost interesting because that digit can't be 5 by Sudoku. I hadn't seen this before. See, that digit, whatever it is, it can't go on its own thermometer because it's axiomatically different from digits on its own thermometer, and it obviously can't go in its own column. So it goes in one of those squares. But one of these squares is 5. So it goes in the one that isn't 5. Okay. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think that's powerful enough. I don't know. I'm so sorry. This is awful solving, isn't it? I don't know what to do. If I haven't got a clue what on earth are you meant to do with this puzzle. It is absolutely baffling. I see. Right. Okay, there's a weird property to do with fives that you can do. Yeah. Actually, I could have done this by Fistamafel, but you don't need to do it by Fistamafel, so I'm not going to prove Fistamafel, because it's simply to ask this question: can any of those 4 digits be 5? And the answer is no, because it causes a weird sort of problem. If that's a 5, then obviously... Oh, hang on, let's just do it. We'll do it this way. If that's 5, that has to be 5. That has to be 5. And there's nowhere to put 5 in this box, because this cell rules out those 2, and that one rules out this one. And that principle just exists by symmetry in all of these boxes, doesn't it? So those 4 squares are not 5. Now, that is interesting, because that is going to allow me to colour this square, because this square is not the high digits, and it's not 5, so that's definitely blue. So that's definitely blue, and what do you know? Those 2 are definitely orange. So these are 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, whoopsie, that's too much. They're 1, 2, 3, and 4. And does that help? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Possibly not. I don't know. This is so peculiar. I've got to go back to that square. We know that that is colourable, because it's not 5. And whatever it is, it's going to cause either the lower digit or the higher digit to share its colour. So imagine that was orange, then obviously that is orange. One of those is orange. That would compare. Oh, okay, so these are an orange and a blue. Is that the same for all of these? Yeah, okay, so it's always orange and blue. I've got something. Right. Sorry, this is fairly obvious. One thing I've been thinking about before is, could that be blue and make all of those blue? I can actually rule that out now, can't I? And that's because of this column. This column, or these 3 squares, include a blue and an orange, which means that this box within that sort of U pentomino has 2 blues and 2 oranges. So if I was to make this blue, that's going to cause us to have 5 blues at least in the box, and that's impossible. So that is orange. Now I think the same logic's going to apply there. If that's orange, I've got 4 oranges on the thermo and 1 orange here. So this is definitely blue. No, that doesn't work. No, this is straightforward now. Right, look at column 2. In column 2, I have got, let's fully do it, I have got 4 oranges. And in this, so look at this square. That square sees 4 blues, so it's not blue. It sees 4 oranges, so it's not orange, so that's 5. There we go. 5. I mean, that's not been easy at all to work out. That's going to do lots of things, though. Look, 5s, 5s, 5. So 5 comes out of all of those squares. And so 5 in the... Oh no, 5 in the middle box is totally... It's totally... For some reason I thought getting those 5s was going to be useful in the middle box. But actually it's not at all. Oh, don't... Oh, that's so annoying. Ah, but I can finish this now. So that's blue. This is orange. So I'm going to get this digit. That is blue. Okay, this has definitely been helpful. This is blue. That is orange. So I can get this one. That's blue. And I can get this one. That's orange. And we know that there's another orange in here, don't we? So we know this can't be orange. So that is blue. So now let's double click all the blues. Well, no, let's not double. I shouldn't double click them actually, because some of these are on thermos. Those can't be 1s. These can't be 4s. Are there any others? We've done that one. This one is on a thermo. So that's 6, 7, 8 or 9. Anything that's not on a thermo, it's totally legitimate to label fully. That one, that can't be 6 because it's got a lower digit. So that has to be 6, 7 or 8. This one, I see these are 1 of each. And that annoyingly could be either colour, I think. It's going to be the same here, isn't it? These are 1 of each, but in theory, I mean, obviously, if that's blue, then that can't be 4. But if this is orange, that can't be 9. Look, so that can't be 6. So we've got a sort of similar thing. Going on there and there, but the other way's round. Therefore, well, so what have I not used? I've not used the fact I worked out these were 5 different. And that got me the parity of the... Well, it got me the preservation of parity in the corners without knowing what that parity is. So... Oh, I don't know. No. Sorry. I know 2 of these are orange. So if that was orange, 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 that digit would go up here and be orange. That would be 4 oranges in the box, and this would be blue. I don't know. I've not labelled that one up either. Oh dear. Okay, so what on earth do we do with this? How long have I been? I've been going for 48 minutes. That has flown by. It's what I was saying at the start. Some of these puzzles, you just lose yourself in them. It's this weird... Annoyingly, all of these whispers, they kink in the most irritating way. Because normally... You know, it's quite hard to put 6s and it's quite hard to put 4s on whispers. But here it's not difficult because the kink 6 obviously only partners with 1 on a whisper. So imagine this green line went down, straight down. Then this couldn't have been 6 because 1s would have appeared in both of those squares. But here, that doesn't apply. Don't think I can do that, can I? Oh, I don't know. This is so confusing. don't know what to do. Oh, goodness. It's actually... Well, what's so weird about this is there's nothing here. There is a great deal of symmetry. I don't deny that. But it's I don't really know what to investigate even. I don't understand how I'm going to... It's got to be, I think it's got to be to do with the fact that these the whisper things coming out of the 20 cages, I do know that they are always... So if that was 6, I know that was a 1. If it's 7, I know it's 2. If it's 8, 3, 9, 4. But well, I may be completely wrong. But that does not look... it doesn't look propagatable, is what I want to say. Doesn't look propagatable, does it? I know that those... So if that's A... Let's just put A, B, C, D for the high digits. Then A will go with E. So those two are a sort of 5 apart pair. And they have different parity. I don't know what this is. So C is 5 apart from this one. So using my nomenclature, that's going to be a G, isn't it? F is going to go with B. Ah! Of course. Hang on. Right. I can label this row, actually. I forgot. Ah, it's obvious again. Ah, it's so pretty. Right. Remember what we said. Okay. I mean, actually, this I do forgive myself because I don't. This has not become in any way obvious until I've just tried to label this row. But now it is obvious. Remember what we said about the corners having the same parity. But we also said that greenly apart digits coming out of 20 cages have different parity, and they're exactly 5 apart. So here is my question. I know that A and E partner up on that whisper, and I'm saying from my labelling that these are clearly... C and G are obviously different from A and E, and then I've labelled the other 2 high digits with B and D. Now here is the question: does D partner up with that digit? Because that's the only... It's either partnering up with this one or it's partnering up with that one, because the others have been hypothecated to 5 apart relationships. Now D cannot partner up with a digit that's the same parity as itself if it's 5 apart from that digit. So D partners up with that one, which I'll call H, which means B partners up with that one, which is now F. Now, how does that work? What does that do to the world? And the answer is, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo, but it probably does something. So if this is F, F is B's partner. So this digit is now not B, because if that was B, because those are 5 apart, we know that would be F. So this digit is not A, it's either C or D, is what it is. So that's C or D. This is therefore the partners of C and D are G and H. That is G or H. I mean, yeah, that doesn't actually look very terribly brilliant, does it? Okay. This is not very easy at all. Okay. Except, yeah, alright. Can that really be H? If that's H, then by Sudoku, H is there. But then, by whisper logic, H, which is D's counterpart, would be here. And I've already got D in the corner. Yeah, that's D in the corner. I want to do the song. No, it doesn't deserve it. So that can't be H. So that can't be D. So this is C and G. So that's C and G, but a different way round. This is the low digit in the box. That's the high digit in the box. So that's C and G. Yeah. So now I've got E, F, G. So that's got to be H. Ah, so one of those is H. H is in one of those. So if that was H, we know H goes with D, don't we? So that would be D. Oh, I don't know. G is definitely in one of those by Sudoku. These are A and B. So if that's A or B, that is E or F. Just doesn't, Sudoku just isn't being helpful at all. So that's also A or B, but that's a sort of useless A or B, which isn't attached to anything by way of whisper. Okay. No. Yes. Yes. Okay, here's something. I actually think it's these corners that we have to use here. Yes, I can do that. I can do exactly the same. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to think more. I'm thinking harder about the corners. Okay, the corners, remember, we said they're a set of the same parity. Now, F is the friend of B. F is the digit that is 5 apart from B. In fact, F can't be 4, I'm now seeing. I mean, it's worth recording, because I know B and F are the partners, and if B can't be 9, then F can't be 4. So we get closer to a 3 in the corner here. But anyway, that wasn't the point I wanted to make, although... Holy moly, if I could do that, that would be massive. Yeah, that's a really interesting thought. I was just thinking, if you can get, if I can prove that digit isn't 4 as well, and isn't F, then I would know the polarity of F. Because remember, everything in the corners is the same in terms of polarity. So they're either all even or they're all odd. But anyway, that wasn't the point. I'm going to go back to my first thought, which was F is the partner of B. B is the digit that's 5 apart from F. So where is B in this column? Now, at first blush, we might say B could go here, but B can't go there because B and F are 5 apart, and these two digits have the same parity. So, what about this? Well, that can't be B, because that's going to put F here, which is because that is the digit that goes with F that's 5 apart. So I think the only place B goes in this column is in there. Whoops, like that. It's in one of those squares. And that means that these two high digits over here are A and D, because they are not B and they are not C. So these are A and D. And that digit is the partner of A or D, which is E or H. And, oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. Nearly. Okay, sorry. I thought that was worth a try. So these digits are B and C. And B and C partner up with F and G. So that's F or G. This is just bonk. It doesn't do anything. I think, oh no. Oh, got something. Right, where's B in this box? And the answer is, I don't know. But seemingly from what I have pencil marked here, these are a BD pair. Which means that is not B. So that's C, which we know goes with G. So that is now B. So A and B are here. So these are high digits. They are C and D. And which was the one? Which was the digit? B was the one we'd worked out wasn't 9. And okay. So what's the other digit that goes in there with B5 and, oh I see, it's whatever from E and H we don't use. Okay. But surely I seem to have loads of C's and G's coming out of everything. So does that mean that has to be CG? Yes, actually, it straightforwardly does. Which orange digit can be C in box 3? And by Sudoku on the digit C, I think that has to be C. So that's C, which means that's G. Yeah, and this I spotted this earlier. Where does D's equivalent, which is H, remember? That can't be this one, because D and H have different parities to be 5 apart, and whereas these have the same parity again. So H goes here. This is 5H, and then, so if that's E or F is a low digit. We've had G and H, so this is E or F. And then this is A or B, so A or B goes in there with H and 5 to make an odd total. So but do we know the parity between D and B? And what do I... hang on. How does this work? D and F have the same parity. So H, which is D's partner, is opposite parity to D. And B have the same parity. Yeah, that doesn't work, does it? Well, it doesn't allow me to... I was thinking, could I rule B out of here on the basis that B and H had different parities? Because if they had different parities, that couldn't have an odd total. But I think, I'm going to do this again, I think B and H have the same parity, because clearly H is different parity from D. F is different. F is the same parity as D. So B is different parity from D, and so is H. So if that did have B in it, it would work. Bobbins. Bobbins is what we say. Bobbins. Okay, so maybe I can do better with... Maybe there's something... C is in one of those. That is true. So... that means... right. Good grief. Okay, this is by far the cleverest thing I've done during this solve. That is weird. Okay. I am going to allege that this is D. This is one of the most... I'm actually a little bit... Self-praise is no praise, you absolute moron. Sorry, I shouldn't be proud of this deduction, but I am a little bit. This, you can't put D in those ones. For the most beautiful reason. If you put D here, what's this? And the answer is CD, and that one's CD. But the way that the thermos would be wrong. But they would be paradoxical. Because these are the same digits. Imagine these were 8s and 9s. Or let's use something even that could go either way. Let's make them 7s and 8s. Let's make those a 7-8 pair. And let's say, okay, we make that 7. Well, then that's 8, isn't it? But we know that these are the same pair of digits. So if that's 7, that's 8, and this thermo apparently works. But that's 8 and that's 7, and this one doesn't work. It doesn't work if these are the same digits. So that means they can't be the same digits. And this is CD, so this cannot be CD. And now the only place D can go in that column is there. So that is D. That is H, because that is a 5 apart thing. Now that is not D. So that's A now. That is D. And D goes with H. So that's DH. And that... oh, this is good now. This is good now. Right, where's B in box 3? There, by Sudoku, which means that's A. So this digit is D as well. D is making an appearance all over the place. A. How on earth did you set this? I mean, it's just... it's so ludicrously clever. But look, this works again. A and E are the pairs that could exist on a green dot. They are 5 apart by definition. That's how I define them down there. So that cannot be E, because those would have different parity. So that is F. Oh, bobbins. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this to be different. Because if those had been different numbers, we'd have known they were 1 and 3. Okay, but that's F. So F, FAD, F, A, and D all have the same parity. Okay, and if that's F, H, G, that one's E by a process of elimination. So these ones are now F and G. onto that thermo. Well, no, that one's on a thermo, the other one isn't. Okay, now does that help us though? Yeah, F is in this corner, so that one can't be F anymore apparently, so that one's going to have to be E, which goes with A, doesn't it, across the thingy. So that one is now, whoops, that one's now B. I wonder if any of these 2x2s have the same composition. So this one is bed G. That one's bag H. That one hasn't got a B in it at all. That one is def con C. And that one is something different again. That's chaff. That's weird. So they're all different. Okay, but what did we learn from that? We got an AE pair, a B here, so this one is now a D. That one's now a B. I can get that one by a process of elimination. That's A. So A apparently is more than 6. Why? Yeah, that's right, because that one is lower than it on the thermo. So A, wherever we get A, I'm going to change its parameters so we can get rid of 6. So again, what we really would love to do is now to get rid of 6 from D, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. Have we got D on any thermos? We've got D well, D is on this one, but I don't know which position it is. I know that Sudoku tells me D is in those squares, one of which could be on a thermo. If that was a thermo, then D would be very tiny, because it would have 3 higher digits. Well, it have 2 higher digits on the thermo. So in fact, this would be at least 8. This would be at least 7, and that would be 6 or 7. So that would be 6 or 7. That doesn't help me. No, what the big game in town would be to get those two to be 7, 8, and 9, because we know they have the same parity. So then they'd be 7 and 9. Don't know. Okay, but we do know that this is A and C now, apparently. And we know A is that one, but I don't know which way round this goes. Do I know? Yeah, okay, I must know what this is now, because E hasn't appeared in that column. So there is an E. So this is 5BE. Okay, that's great. What about... Oh, I don't know. F. What's these are E and F, are they? Just by Sudoku on the low digits. That's an EF pair. That's useful, because that's E. So that actually is resolved. That one is now F. That one is now F by Sudoku. F is 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. That was somehow known. Oh, because it had a blue one higher than it on the thermo. Okay. It sort of makes sense. It's just surprising. Okay, so this is not F or E. So this is G or H. Don't know which. Somehow or other this is going to resolve, apparently. Alright, let's work out what we've got in this one. We've got 5H and B in there. So these digits don't include H. Can we do, okay, E and G. So these are F and H. And that's also resolved. This is really amazing, actually. It really is amazing. So this one is also F. Okay, and if that's F, that one we know is not 4. So have I... Ah, that's GF now. By Sudoku. That's GF, is it? Right, there's a GF pair in column 5. That's appeared. Which is super. And I don't know what that does. Bobbins. That's D. That would be D. Hang on. Am I not going to just run into exactly the same problem with my D's and C's if I make that D? I am. I can't make that D. If that's D, D is indisputably higher on this thermo than C, because if that's D, that's D. But on this thermo, C is definitely higher than D. So sorry, that's been obvious for ages. Everyone's been shouting at me about that. So that is high. D is 6, 7. That's actually not what we wanted, though. We wanted to get some thermo info from it, didn't we? This digit is now... We know one of those is high, so that digit is low. Now that's going to do things. Yes. F is now being changed again, because this is now 3 or 4. It's high, and it's got to be higher than this digit, so that can't be 4, that can't be 3. So F comes right down. Wherever we see a real F, it's 1 or 2. It's 1 or 2. It's 1 or 2. It's right on the bottom of it. Oh, it's probably going to be 1, isn't it? It always seems to be. It's lurking at the bottom of lots of thermos. I don't know. Okay. All right, but let's keep thinking. So F, that also moderates the value of B, which now can't be 8. So we can get rid of wherever we've got B, we can get rid of 8 and 9 in that instance. 8 and 9 in that instance. 8 and 9, get rid of them. 8, get rid of. Oh, and that's just not in a good place on the thermo. That would have been really helpful. If it had been there, it would have been completely forcing. It would have been 7, that would have been 6. B is in there, it's 6 or 7. Once we know the parity of it, the world will feel like a more understanding place, won't it? Okay, so B is in there, I'm noticing, by Sudoku. And presumably I know the other digit if I think hard enough about it, E. Oh, so this is BE5. That's the same. So we've got BE5 there and BE5 there. Don't know if that's supposed to be... Okay, so I must know what these digits are. Ah, perhaps this thermo then. Yeah, that's going to be it. Right, so we need an H. We need an A and a C. Now, can we do anything with that? That is not A, because it's got A in the column. That one is not H, it's got H in the column. And C is quite a large meaty digit. So if that was C, that would be A. And A is a large meaty digit as well. So that could be C. H is a much smaller digit, so that would be a more natural place to have an H. H is there. Oh, hang on. This is B or E, isn't it? Because do you remember when we did that earlier? We worked out that digit had to go in one of those squares and is not itself equal to 5. So it's one of those other letters which now appear to be B and E. B. Now B and E. B is 6 or 7. And A is low. Oh, well, A is low. Okay, so it's 3 or 4. It can't be 1 or 2 as it's the third position on a thermo. So this is 3, 4, 6 or 7. Now does that have any implication at all? Like if this is... For this to be low, it would now have to be a 4, wouldn't it? But hang on. That is A or C. A and C are high digits. Aha. Oh, but that's not useful. That is a high digit just because it is. Because its only options are A and C, because it can't be H. And H is the low digit. But if this is high, then it has to be 6 now. Because this is definitely higher than it, so it would go 6, 7, 8, 9, I see. I bet that's... Do I think that's impossible? I'm skeptical. It seems incredibly... Well, maybe that's why. Maybe it's correct, because it is so forcing. 6, 7, that would be a 7, so the 7 would go here. I mean, it really would be incredibly forcing if it would mean this would be C, wouldn't it, I think. Oh, please tell me that. Oh, yeah, that's so sick. Oh my goodness. This cannot be how you're meant to solve this. This cannot be. Right. Well, I'm here to tell you that I don't think that can be 6. Or it can't be high. Because if it was high, there are now 4 digits on this thermo that have to ascend. So we know it would be 6. And we know this would be 8. So these have the same parity. But this would have to be C, and this has to be A. Because it can't... We know this is an ACH triple. And A is that digit. So A is 8. That requires this, D, to be the same parity, which is 6. But we just said C would be 6, and that's impossible. So that is not C. I mean, this is absolutely absurd. That is now H, which means that is not H, which means this is an AC pair, which is orange. A's and C's. Do we know anything about anything? No. They're just massive, is all we know. 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. That's not putting the required pressure on this digit. It is putting 2, 3, and 4 into that square. Actually, I haven't tidied up, look. I've got this as 2, 3, or 4, and I've never extended that, which is totally remiss of me. In fact, H is 2, 3, or 4. Oh, I've done it. Yeah. Oh, it's taken me so long, but I've done it. Oh, I've done quite a big thing. Because H is the partner of D. And it couldn't be 1 because of this thermo, so it is 2, 3, or 4, so this digit can't be 6. Because then, if it's 6, H would have to be 1, which it can't be. And now, This is what I was looking for on the other diagonal. These squares are different, but are of the same parity. So they can't be 8, because they'd have to both be 8. So they are 7 and 9. This does it. Because now B can't be 7 or 9 and has to be 6. And C is 8, which goes with 3 for a digit that's 5 away from it. Now that is G. So wherever we see G, we write in 3, which is there. So that's 8. C is 8. Wherever we find it, C is 8. That's 3. B was 6, wasn't it? So B is 6. If we find any B's, write 6 into them quickly before it gets away from us. B is 6. Well, that's B or E, so that's not 7 anymore. B is 6. So if that is high, it is B. It's 6. So this digit is now 7 or 9, which must go with a 2 or a 4, because these are 5 apart. H is 2 or 4 wherever that lives. H is 2 or 4. H is 2 or 4. D is 7 or 9. A is 7 or 9. I really hope that this now breaks this open. Okay, so B has a partner which is called F. So F is 1. Wherever we find an F, we can write 1, which seems to be in these cells. F is 1. F is 1. F is 1. E is 2 or 4. Does that make sense? Yes, it's the partner of A. One of these is 1. That's not on a thermo, so it could be a 1. That obviously could be a 1 because it's the lowest digit on a thermo. E, what was E? 2 or 4? What's that? G or H? Oh, I don't know. G? Yeah, G was C's partner, which would be a 3. And H is 2 or 4. That's not helpful. This is 2 or 4. H is 2 or 4. Oh, no. Please don't still be difficult. Now, is that D? Is that really D? Seems to be. 7 or 9. A and C. A is 7 or 9. C is 8. So there's no 6 in here. So 6 is in one of those squares, isn't it? And it's not that one by Sudoku. And E is 2 or 4. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do this. I think, right, what's E? E is 2 or 4. So these are a 2-4 pair. There's definitely a 3 on this thermo, because that's a 2, 3, 4 triple in this column. Oh, come on. Oh, look, we can do some tidying up surely down here. This, that's not 6. So this can't be 7 anymore. Let's make sure we get our thermo going in the right direction. A, we know, is... Oh, there is an 8 on this thermo now, because that's 7 or 9. These digits can't... Oh, that is C, apparently, so that is 8. So this is 7 or 9, and is D. Okay, that makes sense. This is not 8. Oh, goodness. I mean, I think we're really close now. What is the digit? What's the digit B? Oh, no, not B. Oh, no, I don't know now. I'm losing it. B B was 6. Yeah, B was 6. E, what's E? E is 2 or 4, we don't know. So if that was E, it would have to be 4. And that would have to be 2. And then, yeah, I think that would be okay. Look, these digits now don't include 2 and 4. So they are a 1-3 pair. F and G, that's the same here. 1 and 3. Oh, so if that's 3, that's 4, that's 6. 3, 4, 6. It might be fine, I don't know. I've got a 1-3 pair in this column. How do you do this? 8 is definitely in one of those squares. If sorry, I haven't got this yet, have I? It's still being recalcitrant. That's A and C. But A and C don't include 6 because B is 6. Yeah, sorry, I can get rid of 6 from this one. So this digit isn't 7. So this is 7, 8. There's a 7-8 pair here now. That's, yeah, this digit I can do. That's blue, I think. Because this is a 7-8 pair. So if this is lower than this digit, it must be 6. And it can't be 6 by Sudoku. And we know it's not 5, so that's blue, which means this digit, which I don't know the letter of, is not 4. So, oh, I see, that's 3 or... Oh, I see, I've got a 3-4 pair now in those squares. That might be useful. So 3 in the middle. Look, this digit is not 3. Sorry, I got this 1-3 pair and then didn't use it on this. This is 4 or 6. Now, if it's B, it's 6. Okay, we know that. And if it's E, it's now 4, which would work. I've got a 2, 3, 4. Oh, this digit I know now. That's A. That's 7 or 9 by Sudoku. Nothing more complicated than that. And D is 7 or 9. So these two digits are 7s and 9s. 8s are on both thermos, but they have a different composition. So one of them is going 8, 9. The other one is going... Hang on. I think one of them's going 7. They're not going 7, 8, are they? Because they have different... The common digit is C, which is 8. Yeah, so, yeah, okay. So one of them goes 7, 8. One of them goes 8, 9. So 9 does make an appearance here. And 9 does make an appearance here. So 9 is in one of those 3 squares. Oh, it's nearly interesting, but I don't think it's good enough. Okay. What is it then? I'm sorry, you're probably all getting cross with me now. Hour and a half I've been at this. I've had some difficult puzzles recently. I really have. But... okay, so what have we got here? In terms of pure, let's actually label this up. I'm going to go 2, 4 for the E, a B, which is a 6 digit, and a 5. So these are 2, 4, 5, 6. Now, is there anything we can get rid of 4? Because there's a 3, 4 pair in this row. So that's 2, 5, or 6. Okay. And over here we've got 5, B and H, which is 5, 6, and H, which is 2 or 4. Yeah, so these contain different 2, 4 digits. Yeah, and that makes sense because one of these is going to be a 2, 3 slither on the thermo, and one of these is going to be a 3, 4 slither on the thermo. Okay, but again, that can't be 4, can it? So 2, 5, 6 is something interesting, maybe. Almost 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looks weird. Is that a quadruple? 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, it's not. It would need to be a quintuple. Oh, nearly. Nearly. How annoying. So that digit. Oh, I don't know. It's weird this now. Okay, and now I'm beginning to think I'm probably missing something very clear. It could be something like the crux of one of these thermos, or one of these whispers, sorry. I mean, obviously if that's 4, that is 9. If that's 3... I don't know. That one... Those are the same digit. And that... Okay, that... Sorry, look, there's an adjustment we could have made there to this square. I doubt it matters. So these squares are... D is in one of those squares, and that's because of Sudoku on D in this row. So D is in one of those. Other digits that we haven't placed are... it's getting a bit difficult to tell, isn't it? There's a 2 or a 4 in this row that we haven't put in. That's not H. So it's going to be E. So E is in one of these. And there's something else which I'm not thinking of. Is it? It's the digit 8. Ah. 8, which was C, if I remember rightly. So C is in here, but we know so little about C. I'm tempted to put 8 in instead. I think I will. Okay, and what are those digits? B, E. E I've remembered is 2 or 4. So 2, 4, 5, 6. And we know that's not 5. We know this isn't 6. Oh, see, again, that's looking quite interesting, isn't it? So, is it something like, if that's 4, that's 2, then these would be 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't know. Oh, you rotten old puzzle. I know this is high. I just don't know how high. If that was 7 or 9. Oh, hang on. How could that be 7? Sorry, that's totally been there for ages. That can't be 7 because there's a higher digit that's not 6. That can't be 6. Ah, that's it. So D is 9. Right. Okay. So D, wherever we see D in the puzzle, we're going to fill in 9. It's like having 2 3s in the corner down there. So D is 9. So A is 7. Okay, let's do those. Yeah, this is doing things. So that's 2. So E is 2 now. E is 2. That's going to be good, is it? 4 can come out of those squares. 2, 5, 6. Wow. So that does things to the thermo. That's 3, that's 4, that's 3, that's 2. H was D's partner, so that's 4. This column has no 2s in it now. 4, 5, 6. A and C. A was 7. So 7 is lower than 8. So that's 7. That's 8. That's 8. That's 9. And D was 9. So that made sense. The world is making sense. That's 7 by Sudoku. That's a naked single 8. That's a naked single 7. Let's make that orange for the good order. That doesn't put any pressure on this digit. But 4 comes out of those squares. So 4 goes onto this thermo, and that makes this square 6. And that makes that square 6, 2, 5. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that one's 2. 5 is purple. Oh, 2 is blue. These squares are not 6s. So that's a naked single. That's a 2, a 5. That's a 4. Oh, I think I took the wrong digit out there. I'm just going to go back and make sure I don't make a ricket. That should be a 6, shouldn't it? That's a 4. That's a 6. That's a 2. That's H. Now, we did know, I think H is 4. Yeah, by Sudoku, that would make sense. Oh, that doesn't put any pressure on the thermo. Oh, but that's 8. No, can't use that, because that only applies out of the 20 box. So I am going to have to do more Sudoku, I think. Alas. All right, let's try these digits. 3, 5, 8. That's 5. This is a 3, 8 pair. Okay, but that's quite helpful, because that means that 3 in this column has to be exactly there. 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 8. 8 goes here. I am going to tidy up all the colouring. Fear not. That is definitely not 5. What are these then? Oh, D is one of them. That's 9. And E must be 2. So that box looks correct. That's a 4 by Sudoku. I've not put 4 into the middle. 4 goes in the middle of the puzzle, believe it or not. 9 goes here, and that should be a 1. And that, I think, is the solution to an absolutely mesmerizing puzzle by the great Myxo. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let's just do that, and click. Oh no, no! Oh, I done some Sudoku wrong. Oh no, what did I do wrong? When did I do that? No. I can see the 2 5s sitting there looking at me. Oh, was that? You know what? That's exactly where I thought I'd made a typo here, but obviously I have my finger on the wrong key. Okay, I don't mind that too much. Well, I say that, but I need to be more careful. Clearly, actually, that has put a spanner in the works, hasn't it? H we know is 4, so I'm still relatively happy with that. 4 is in one of 2 places. 9 is not there. So this column needs a 5 in it, which is in one of those squares. Oh, no, that can't be 8. That's certainly true. E is 2 or 4. Is it true to say, yeah, that can't be D, and it can't be 8. So it can only be E, which we know is 2. So that's 2. This is a 9, 8 pair, and that's not resolved. So these squares are 1, 3, and 5. That's not 3. It's more chunky, this last. Oh, that's 2. Okay, so that's 2. That's 6. That's 6. That's 5. That's 3. That's 3. That's 1. That's 5. That's 3. That's 1. So 1 in the middle box must be doable. 1, 9, 4, 9, 8, 8. Okay, so we've tidied it up a bit. I hope that solution's different. 3s are blue digits, 2s are blue digits, 1s are definitely blue digits, 5s are purples, 8s are oranges, and 6s are oranges. Okay, let's try again. Oh. Okay, there we go. I did it. It's taken me ages. It was a very interesting puzzle, wasn't it? My goodness me. It's been around for quite a few days. Do not have many solves, but actually that is a spectacularly clever puzzle. There's a very no, I mean this is it's not quite true to say this, but it's very all of these fours are a bit silly. Why have they all done that? I don't know. Oh, some of the fours have turned. Hang on, some of the fours have turned orange. That's definitely wrong. I've probably left an orange 4 or 2 and everyone's going to get really angry. I should have 4 orange digits in every box. I do seem to do. I think that's correct now. It's a spectacular setup, but the logic required is very original. I mean, it was weird. It's a weird start, actually. Even to do something with 5s was weird. And I did need the idea I had up there with the oranges, but I could only really apply it when I thought about it down here. It wasn't easy to do, and I'll tell you the beautiful idea here as well. It's such a simple concept. The idea to make these odd and force the parity of the corners to be the same. I mean, it's genius. It's genius. We say that. I use that word quite often on the channel. But where else on the internet do you get this sort of unbelievable cleverness so often? I don't know. Myxo, done it again. Take a bow. Absolutely incredible setting. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.